the flash ball. They're gonna get the shock, they're gonna get the kill on a Sneaky. He's got no way out.
Pro leagues all around the world started their second split of the year, and we got our first taste of the new support Rakan. This playmaker burst onto the scene with style, and this guy was the center of attention in so many flashy plays. Welcome to The Breakdown. I'm Zyrene, and this week, we're going to be taking a closer look at the competitive strengths of Rakan. We'll specifically be focusing on two main points: how Rakan manages the laning phase, and what makes his engages so powerful. Let's get into it. Rakan is a low-range support. This is a class that has historically struggled in the laning phase. But the changes to Doran's shield keep AD carries healthier during early trades, unlocking a lot of the potential that these playmakers have in the mid-game. On top of that, Rakan also has a lot of tools to help him survive the laning phase. His passive shield from Fae Feathers and the heal from his Q Gleaming Quill both help Rakan go even in almost all matchups. As a melee support that has built-in sustain, he's much harder to poke down, and he can get to level 3 and beyond without much risk. As CLG's Aphromoo showed in Game 2 against C9, Rakan's W Grand Entrance gives him a lot of presence in the lane. Aphromoo makes it through the first few levels, and then he catches Smoothie off guard and nets his team first blood just 4 minutes in the game, in a lane that usually favors the ranged support. When I spoke to Aphromoo about Rakan's lane and playstyle, he drew a lot of similarities to Alistar, but said there are a ton of differences too. Rakan doesn't have to stick around and tank everything after going in, and he has way more distance and speed in his engagement. 25 minutes into that exact same game, Aphromoo is out of vision of C9 over 2,000 units away from Sneaky, who only has a sight range of 1,200 units. Aphromoo uses Battle Dance at 25 minutes and 6 seconds, and closes the distance to Sneaky by combining the quickness, flash, and grand entrance to land a CC chain just 1 second later. Even with the Lulu Whimsy to speed him up, Sneaky's Varus can't get away in time. This is the power of Rakan. When he's paired up with Xayah, Rakan's Battle Dance range becomes 1,100 units. And then if you combine that with his flash for another 425 units, a grand entrance cast for 650 on top of that, and the radius of Grand Entrance's knockup, which is 250, you get a grand total of 2,425 units of engage range. And the speed at which this happens is mind-blowing. Grand Entrance's travel speed is 1,800 plus your current movement speed per second. Battle Dance's travel speed is 1,250 plus your current movement speed per second. This means that Aphromoo closed the distance to Stixxay in 0.59 seconds. And then it only took him 0.27 seconds to reach Sneaky. Throw in the time it takes him to flash and human input, and Aphromoo travels 2,175 units in only 1.16 seconds. Because of this speed and distance, Aphromoo called Rakan's engage essentially undodgeable unless you have godlike reaction time. Even if you have a QSS or cleanse, it isn't going to help you unless you have flash, because keep in mind that Rakan's combo is a two-part CC chain. First, it's a charm from having the quickness on during the pass-through of Grand Entrance, and then it's the Grand Entrance knockup itself. So if you QSS the charm, you're about to get knocked up. If you QSS the knockup, you've already eaten the charm, making the combo one of the best engage tools currently in the game. But even with some of the best reaction times, pro players struggle to dodge Rakan's engage. His R plus flash W combo is both instant and reliable, making it one of the best engage tools currently in the game. This was demonstrated by Aphromoo when his team was down 4v5 in a fight, and he annihilated both of C9's carries by diving the backline in the blink of an eye and lining them up for a shockwave. Which leads me to the synergies. Rakan is great with and against some of the most picked champions in competitive play. He synergizes incredibly well with Orianna, who's actually the most picked mid laner on patch 7.10, the second most picked top laner Galio, whose hero's entrance and Shield of Durand are perfect follow-up, and of course, he synergizes with Xayah, who not only has built-in synergies, but can also follow Rakan's engage up perfectly with a well-placed Featherstorm Blade Caller combo. In terms of what Rakan is great against, it's almost the whole field of the meta carries. Smoothie commented on how Rakan is perfect against the most frequently seen champions in both the middle and the bottom lanes. The top 3 most picked mid laners all lack mobility and are easy to catch out. And in the bottom lane, only 2 out of the top 7 most picked champions even have a way to avoid the engage of Rakan. It is important to keep in mind that Rakan can be played around. This was demonstrated by TSM's bottom lane as they utilized Tahm Kench Devour to constantly save their Ashe. In spite of this, Rakan's strengths bring a whole new level of playmaking to supports, and the meta is shaping up perfectly for the Charmer. As more pros invest time into him, expect to see Rakan much more frequently, which means you get to sit back and enjoy the plays. Hey everyone, Zyrene here. If you see a moment that you think deserves a breakdown, tweet at me at LOLZyrene and use the hashtag #TheBreakdown.